We continue with business, chapter 8 today. Decisions on location.
Yes.
Yeah, a business would have been set up. You have the business idea, you have that mindset to set up a business. But it is important to know where the business has to be located. That means where is it going to be? Where are you going to put the business? The location. That is the point there. So you need to put a business, you need to place your location where it will be strategic and where customers can reach. But whatever the case might be, it is important for a business to know where it is, to find a suitable location for its establishment. So we read anyway. Factors influencing the location and relocation of businesses. Factors influencing the location and relocation of businesses. Historically, many manufacturers were located near to the source of power and raw materials. Steel and chemical-heavy industries were located close to power sources, such as coal, and raw materials such as water and iron ore. The steel industry was successful in the Ruhr and Rhine Valley in Germany because all these resources were available in the locality. Today, electricity and gas can be supplied to most places. Therefore, manufacturers may not have to be located close to power sources. They are more likely to consider other factors such as those below. So, before now, as a manufacturing company, like a company that is in the secondary sector of production, mostly they would always want to locate closer to where the raw materials are. They need raw materials. Yes or no? So they want a proximity. Yeah, in the private sector. Yeah. So they want to get whatever business that they have, they want their factory to be located closer to where the source of raw materials are, where the source of resources are. So this saves them a lot of money. This saves them a lot of cost. It reduces their cost of production. So that's the point they are making here. So, but that is for a manufacturing business. But there are other things a business has to put into consideration when deciding the location of industry. Number one, proximity to the market itself. So when we talk about proximity to the market, this is about closeness to the market.
Closeness
to the market, yes. Businesses that make large or heavy products may be located close to their customers to keep transport costs down. For example, we're not located a factory in Tangier, a port in North Africa, with proximity to the European market. So basically here, we're talking about the closeness of the closeness to your customers. Closeness to your customers, your customer base. That is proximity to the market.
Yes.
Do you get it? So one of the factors that you can put into consideration when locating your business is how close they are to your customers. So you need to understand your customer base. Where are your customer base coming from? Is it in the north, the south, the west, or the east? So if it's from the north, locate your business closer to the north. That is the point they are making here. I think it's clear.
Yeah.
The second factor is proximity to labor. We're talking about accessibility to your workers, to the workers available, like accessibility to the skilled workers. Sometimes the kind of business you do would warrant you to have specific skilled workers. So that means you need to locate your business.
You need to find a location which has
which is closer to those workers you would need for your production or operation. Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yes.
And that's not the only thing about labor. Let's read anyway. Also, labor skills are not okay. Yeah, they said business needing large numbers of workers have to consider wage costs and labor skills. Wage rates may vary in different regions and large companies. Large companies may also consider locating in countries where labor is very cheap. So, for the factor about labor, the reward for labor is wages or salary.
Yes.
So, if you think about if you have to locate your business and you are putting into consideration proximity or closeness to work for labor, it means you're not just going to talk about labor. You still have to talk about how cheap or expensive labor is in those areas you are choosing or in that area.
Now you're gonna think about how good
the cost of labor.
Yeah, how good the cost the labor is. You need to think how you can get labor.
A cheaper one.
Yeah, cheap.
So how do you get a cheap labor? You get a cheap labor where the supply of labor is high. You get the point I'm saying? You get cheap labor where the supply of labor is high. So because there's demand for labor and there's supply for labor. There's demand for and supply of.
So if I need a business where I need too many workers, and they are cheap, working cheap,
You have to find.
I need to find a location for it.
You need to find the location for it. That's
for a perfect location to it.
Where the supply of labor is higher than the demand for.
Exactly.
Yeah. When the supply of labor is high, it means the wage rate will fall. But when the demand for labor is high, the wage rate is likely to increase.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Understandable.
If employers are looking for you, they pay you more. But if you are looking for a job, you get less. Do you understand? That is the proximity of labor. Is it clear? To labor, is it clear?
Yes.
The third factor is proximity to materials. Places that use large amounts of raw materials that are difficult to transport may choose to locate their premises very close to their sources. So here it's about the raw materials needed. Some businesses, they need large quantities of raw material, and setting up their business in a location that is far away from these raw materials might mean that they pay so much on transportation. And that increases their cost.
Yes.
So do you get the point there? Is it clear, please? So here they said, okay, some businesses such as large supermarket manufacturers require large areas of land to locate buildings, staff car parks, and other facilities. As a result, they look to minimize land and property costs. For example, they may set up in areas where premises are cheap, business rates are low, land has been allocated for business development, such as a brownfield site or greenfield site. So what they are saying is this: some businesses, they need large numbers of land.
Yes.
To locate their business, maybe schools, factories. So the amount of land needed is much. So they cannot get that in areas that are closer to the city. So they need to find a location a location where cheap lands are available. That is the point they're making here. Yes. You get it? Not only that, you might also think about the rate of tax. So some businesses will locate their business where the tax rate is low, because when the tax rate is low, it reduces your cost of production and it increases your profits. You get it? So this is another factor.
So basically, what it talks about, if I want to make business, particularly I want to make a business, I have to find a location that's extremely cheap, no matter what. It's taxes, labor, whatever.
Yeah.
If I want to make profit and I want to make business, and I want to make profit and I want to use less money for it, invest my money less, I have to find a perfect location, really a perfect location for cheap.
Yes.
For cheap everything.
Listen, you won't get everything at once. There's always an opportunity cost. Listen.
Yeah.
What's an opportunity cost? There's always going to be a foregone alternative. You might find a location that is cheap in terms of labor, but the land there is high, is expensive.
Okay.
So sometimes you have to let go of one for another. You get the point. But what we are saying specifically is that as a business, you have to when you are setting up your location, there are some factors that you have to put into consideration. Not all factors will be available for you. You understand? Not all the factors will be available for you. But you need to set out those ones that you think are useful, are important in setting up your own location.
Yes.
If you are a school, you don't need raw materials. Do you need raw materials? If you are setting up a school, do you need raw materials?
No.
So you don't need to locate where raw materials are.
I need products to do it, not raw material.
You need customers. You need students.
Yeah.
So you need to locate your business in a city. Do you understand? So
exactly.
Is it clear now? So the point is, when you are locating your business, there are factors that you have to put into consideration, which the determinants are the kind of business you do. Clear? Is it clear, please?
Yeah.
The last one here, proximity to competitors. What is competitor? Who are the competitors? Those that you do the same business with, right?
Yeah.
Those are you.
Yeah, like Pepsi versus Coca-Cola.
Great. That's a typical example. So those that sell almost the same product as you do, or those that render almost the same service as you do, they are your competitors. That's why we said competition is the rivalry that exists between two or more firms trying to sell to the same customers, to the same customer.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, great. So another factor that you have to put into consideration is how close are your competitors to that location. Sometimes you need to be far away from your competitors. Did you get it? Because if you are closer to them, then you have to share the same customers. Because there's no customer in heaven. The same customers are here. So you might need to think that, staying closer to my competitors might mean that my revenue would fall. So you might need to stay far away from your competitors. Did you get it? So is it clear or not?
Clear.
Great. So these are factors that you put into consideration when you have to determine or decide location of an industry.
If there's competitors, the same location as mine, have to be far away.
Yes, it depends on if you think going closer to them would not jeopardize your sales or your revenue or profits, you can stay. But when you feel that, oh, based on the feasibility study you did, staying closer to them will do more harm than good, then stay far away from them. Is it clear?
Clear.
So these are the factors that influence decision about locations. Proximity to labor, proximity to raw materials, proximity to market, proximity to competitors.
Yes.
Clear?
Exactly.
Good. So go to the nature of business activity now. Are you there?
Yes, mister.
Okay.
The nature of business activity. Oh, the nature.
Yeah. The nature of business activity. Increasingly, when choosing a suitable location, businesses have to take into account the ease of access and parking facilities. Traffic congestion is a growing problem in many parts of the world, and business needs to choose locations where there is less chance of delays. It is particularly important for customers since they will try to find alternatives if they cannot park conveniently. Some service businesses, particularly fast food providers, are developing drive-through facilities to help overcome parking problems.
What does that mean?
The nature of business activity, the kind of business you do. So the services, like restaurants.
Yeah.
So restaurants need to set up where it becomes convenient for people to be able to park their cars. If not, they won't be having customers. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Car
park, yeah. So, but as a result of that, a lot of fast food restaurants are coming up with what we call drive-through facility. That when you pass by, there's always a spot that you'll be able to get or access their food. Is it clear?
Clear.
So go to the second one, office-based businesses. In some fields of business, such as creative marketing, consultancy, financial services, and customer service provision.
Office-based.
Yeah, that's where I am now. If large number of people have to be employed in offices, businesses may need to ensure that there are sufficient facilities such as restaurants, cafes, and hotels nearby. Many businesses locate their head office in large and popular cities. This gives employees, customers, and other visitors access to a wide range of other facilities, such as theaters, cinemas, museums, nightclubs, bars, sports stadiums. Located in a high-profile city such as London, Paris, Dubai, or New York can also improve the image of a business, although some office-based businesses still prefer to locate where costs are lower. So for office-based,
Works, right?
Okay, so for office-based businesses, what they are saying specifically is that businesses that employ large numbers of workers,
yes,
they need to locate their business.
Obvious.
They need to locate it closer to restaurants, sports stadiums, night bars, hotels, because the customers are much, or the workers are large numbers. There will be some time they won't be able to go home. They might want to take lunch, they might want to take their breakfast before going to office. But if these things are far away from them, then you might not be getting an efficient workers. Do you understand?
So so I want to make so I want to put the office-based buildings between like restaurants and any other entertainment ones.
Yes, so that your workers, whenever they need to relax, they'll be able to find a place to go to. And setting up a business even closer to the cities could give a better reputation of your business. Is it clear?
Yes.
The third one, Manufacturing and processing. The locations chosen by manufacturers may vary. This is because different types of manufacturing have different needs. For example, manufacturing that is labor intensive will need to locate where there is a good supply of skilled and relatively cheap labor. Coal-fired power generators are likely to be located very close to coal mines or access to coal imports, for example. To keep transport costs down, oil refineries are often located on the coast for the same reason. Oil can be transferred straight from the ships to the refining plants if they occupy coastal locations. Manufacturers that need very large areas of land may choose locations where land is relatively cheap and there's lots of space on the edge of towns and cities, for example. For manufacturing and processing businesses, they also choose location based on raw materials or probably labor, because when you talk about manufacturing, most of manufacturing businesses are labor intensive. They need large numbers of workers.
Yeah, of course.
So because they need large numbers of workers, they need to locate where labor is relatively cheap. That is for businesses that are labor intensive. Do you get it? And if the business is about raw materials, they need to locate closer to raw materials. That's the example they're making there. Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yes.
So the next business we have here is agriculture. For agriculture, we need, I will read then and explain. Most farmers require large areas of land for their businesses. However, not all land is the same as some. Some farming activity needs a particular type of land. For example, dairy farmers need land where grass can grow effectively so that cows can get access to a good food source. Growers of vegetables generally need quite fertile land, whereas cereal crops can be grown on slightly less fertile land. Food growers producing apples, pears, plums, and strawberries, for example, need land that is sandy and well drained. And tropical fruits such as bananas and mangoes can only be grown in tropical regions. So, for agriculture, about farming, farmers will need land, but not just land. They need land that are fertile. So the kind of agriculture you are involved in will determine the kind of land you have, the kind of land that interests you.
Interest.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
The main example of when you have to grow crops, you have to grow it in fertile land.
Yeah.
So that means you need a land that has nutrients. Not just anyhow, or just not any land. Is it clear? That's about agriculture.
Land.
A land that has nutrients.
Yeah.
That will make the plants to grow. Is it clear?
Yeah, of course.
In the fishing industry, businesses will tend to be located on the coast. However, different types of fish and shellfish live in different environments. For example, someone came to develop a business catching oysters would have to locate close to an oyster reef, which are often found where rivers meet the sea. So for fishing, which is another primary sector of production, when you are dealing with if you are a firm or a business that is involved in fishing, you need to locate closer to the coast where you can have access to fish and things.
Obvious.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
Any question about that?
So the places is basically has to be low in cost, so it can be easier to invest, and it has.
This is your cost of production.
Yeah, of course, and it has to be it has to be more comfortable.
More comfortable.
Yeah.
Yes.
For the business.
Is it clear?
Especially to employees.
Right. Is it clear now?
Yeah.
Good. So go to the impact of the internet on location decisions. Are you there? Many people are switching to the internet when shopping rather than going to stores. There has been a huge growth in e-commerce. Sorry.
So impact of the internet.
Yeah. So the impact, like I said, the impact of the internet on location decisions. Many people are switching to the internet when shopping rather than going to stores. There has been a huge growth in e-commerce, which has had a massive impact on business location. So the development of online businesses means that many entrepreneurs have a lot more flexibility when choosing a location. This means that retailers, for example, can serve national markets and operate in premises far away from the actual customers. For example, an online clothes retailer could operate from a warehouse near a motorway and serve the national market. Also, businesses do not need to have a fixed premises. They could run their businesses from anywhere where they can get an internet connection. For example, an online business offering advice on personal investment and personal financial management could be located anywhere in the world and still serve a global market. So the impact of internet on location of decision is that with internet facility, with internet accessibility, it reduces the burden on businesses to stay, the burden on businesses about looking for the best location. So you don't need location anymore because you can trade directly with people without you even getting closer to them. I could have sometimes I have students in Turkey that I teach. I have students in Dubai that I teach.
Yes.
Do you get it? So I teach them without even seeing them. So internet has brought us together.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it becomes a small world now.
Yeah.
Do you get it? So what they're saying is that businesses do not need
a building.
They don't need to be closer to customers before they sell.
Yeah.
So you could choose to buy or to rent a low-cost building in a remote area and still access or service people in the city. Do you get the point?
Yeah.
So
so it's more efficient.
Yeah, it's more efficient and it's more efficient because it reduces cost.
Of course.
Do you get it?
So it is more can cost. So I can so basically I can invest with less money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of internet accessibility. So the only thing that you need is
makes the business even
more cheaper.
Yes.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
Any question about that? So that's about internet.
Very obvious.
Okay, good. So that's about internet. So we move on. Influence of legal controls now and trade blocks on location. Once the door is closed.
Yes, door is closed.
That's why.
Okay, I mean more.
Okay.
Now shift work. So influence of legal controls.
Yeah. So for legal controls, we're talking about government laws, influences. Government, both local and national, may try to influence location decisions for several reasons. One, so what are the reasons for government influencing location decisions?
Wow. Yeah, I'm seriously why.
So yeah, it's like legal controls. When talking about legal controls, it's strictly from government, right? Great. So what are the reasons why government may try to influence location decisions? Number one, to avoid congestion where there is already enough or too much development. This will reduce the strain on existing infrastructure, such as roads, schools, and hospitals. So the first reason why government might try to influence location decision is to reduce the stress on areas that are already congested. Tripoli is congested. Like there are a lot of industries in Tripoli, there are a lot of schools in Tripoli. Everything is surrounded, everything is in between Tripoli. Everything is in Tripoli. Well, why can't we try other places? So government might come up with laws that would restrict businesses in setting up in Tripoli. That is the point they're making here. Do you get it?
So it wants less buildings in Tripoli.
Yeah, so because it could bring about.
There's too many buildings.
Yeah, it could bring about strain on the infrastructure.
So it can has less stress on
infrastructure,
on the
land,
rail,
and the rest.
It can
the
be
bridge.
It can be more bigger.
No,
not bigger. It can be more larger.
No, if it's becoming more larger, then the strain continues to increase. The point I'm making here.
No, not larger. Why?
No, get it straight. Government wants to soften. Government wants to ensure that the stress on infrastructure, the strain on infrastructure are reduced. Because sometimes congestion, large population brings about strain on infrastructure. Do you get it? So government and why do we have large population in Tripoli than every other places? Because a lot of businesses, a lot of companies are set up here. So government might influence decision about location, coming up with laws that would restrict new businesses setting up in Tripoli. Do you get it now?
Yes.
So government decision here is to ensure that people become less interested in setting up in congested areas.
Understand.
Good. 2, minimize the impact business might have on local communities. For example, most people would object if a business opened a noisy nightclub in a highly residential area, or if a large petrochemical company established a refinery in a national park. Another reason why governments also think about or influence decision about location is that the impact it has in the people around the environment that the business wants to set up. If it's going to be, if it's not going to be convenient for the community, for the people living in that community, government might not allow you to set up there.
It's going to be annoying.
Yeah.
To local community.
To the local community, yes. So if government feels that the living or the convenience of local or the convenience of the local community are being tampered with or will be tampered with, government might not allow a business to set up there. Is it clear?
Yeah.
The third one, to encourage manufacturers to locate where unemployment is high. This will help to improve the distribution of jobs around the country. The third reason here is that government might come up with location decision laws so that businesses will set up in areas that needs more, that are highly unemployed, that has a high rate of unemployment. So do you understand what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Businesses do here in Tripoli, for example, unemployment is less.
Yeah.
But areas like, just an example, Tauna, they are all those areas, they might be having high unemployment rates. So government can come up with laws. Government cannot decide for businesses, but government can come up with laws that would stop those businesses to set up in areas that are fully employed. To start thinking about areas, regions that have high rate of unemployment. So government might do this by maybe reducing the cost, or reducing the price of land in those areas, reducing taxes, cutting tax in those areas, so that it can become attractive for new businesses.
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Yeah, makes
and
sense.
Increasing prices of land around here, increasing taxes here, so that businesses can start thinking about going down to the other side. Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yes.
The third one, to encourage manufacturers to locate where, we talked about. Government often use financial incentives to influence business choice of location. For example, the government can offer low rates, tax rates, and low rents if they locate in areas preferred by the government. I talked about it already. Government will influence by ensuring that businesses are able to, willingly, are willing or wishing to locate in areas that the government want them to. So if government has certain areas that government plans are to ensure that businesses locate there, they will do whatever it takes within their capacity to ensure that it becomes a site of attraction for those who have to set up there. So if you have a business and you are paying taxes of like $100,000 here in Tripoli, and you have that the same business over there, they pay maybe $7,000.
Cheaper.
So what will you do? Won't you move there?
You'll get 7,000.
Won't you move in taxes?
You get less taxes.
You pay less taxes.
Yeah.
Won't you move there?
You pay less taxes.
Won't you move there? Will you go there or not?
Yes.
Okay, that's the point I'm making.
I thought you made a different question.
No. Okay, the last one. To attract foreign manufacturers into the country. Many countries rely on inward investment to help create employment and work for domestic suppliers. So what they are saying here is that when government feels like they need to attract foreign direct investments, that's foreign businesses setting up here, they might do that by informing them that, come set up your business here. In this area, instead of you to pay $20,000 for land, you'll be paying $6,000, $7,000 for land. And it is confirmed. You get it?
Yeah.
So it simply means government are attracting foreign investments by making things to become cheaper. Then it becomes attractive for them and they have interest. Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yes.
So these are ways in which government can influence location decision. Any question about it?
No.
So we'll move on. I think that's all.
Ready?
Yeah, that's all.
That was really fast.
Yeah, sure. So we have questions now. Chapter 8, multiple choice questions. Number 1, please read.
An area of ground that was once used for urban development is called.
Well, let me just explain it to you. When we talk about urban development, where you cut off those trees and you start building houses, offices, and the rest. That is what they are saying. So it is a brownfield site. Brownfield site. Brown. The field is brown. The sand is brown.
Oh, it's called brownfield site.
Is it clear? Yeah, I think we didn't talk about it. So now you know, right?
Okay.
Question 2, please.
Urban development. What's urban exactly?
Urban.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 3 point developing those
urban.
areas.
No.
Question B.
Brownfield site, it's tree is basically forests, jungles, and stuff you replace it with, right? Number 2, which of the following factors is likely to be the most important when
choosing a location for a supermarket? Proximity to suppliers, low cost land, exchange rate, energy costs. Remember, supermarkets. Okay, you have to do it yourself when you're waiting.
Okay, let me think. It's proximity to suppliers.
Supermarkets. Supermarkets need large area of
land.
So the answer is low cost land.
No, low cost land.
Supermarkets are big, yes or no?
Yes.
So is it clear? Question 3.
Which of the following business is likely to have the most choice when deciding upon a suitable location to base their operation? Coal burning power stations, diamond mine, high street fashion retailers, and online tutor service.
So which of the following businesses is likely to have the most choice when deciding upon a suitable location to base their operations?
What's a retailer?
A retailer?
What is a retailer?
Retailer?
Yeah.
What is a retailer?
In C.
Oh, well, a retailer is that business that buys in bulk and sells to the final consumer in bits.
In bits?
Yeah, you buy in bulk.
E-book?
In bulk. You buy in bulk. You buy large numbers of goods. From the wholesalers, and you sell to the consumers. So you are the middleman between the wholesaler and the customer. So those shops you go to, those shops you buy from, they are retailers. They are retail shops.
I understand.
Okay.
Which of our businesses have the most choice when deciding on a location to base their operation? Have the most choice when deciding upon a suitable location to base their operation?
Coal burning power station, diamond mine, high street fashion retailer.
It's C.
It's not C. It is D.
Really?
Yeah, an online tutor service. I have a tutor. I could choose to teach at home. I could choose to come here. I could choose to go to anywhere I want, and I will still teach my students. Yes or no?
Yes.
We're talking about coal burning power station.
Wait,
it needs to be.
So, I mean, question 3 meant how easy the business?
Yeah, like they said, which one has more choices to make? For a coal burning power station, you need to be closer to the coal.
Yes.
That means you don't have any other choice. Diamond mine, you need to be closer to where the mine is. It's not everywhere. You can't see diamond everywhere.
Yeah.
High street fashion retailer. An high street fashion retailer must stay in the high street, closer to the city. An online tutor service. You can be in school, you can be anywhere, and you're still going to teach. It's online. You
Yeah.
can have access to the whole world, in as much as you have the internet. So the answer is D. Is it clear?
Clear.
Question 4.
I understand what the question. I'm confused with the question.
Is it clear now?
Yeah, now it's clear.
Okay, question 4.
Okay, number 4. Which of the following is a likely reason for a manufacturer to relocate its business? To provide space for expansion, to set up an online operation. What? To avoid higher interest payment. To avoid having to market its product. To avoid having to market its product. This is okay. D doesn't make sense. B, I don't think so. Okay.
You've now your options to A and C, right? Or A and B.
To provide space for expansion.
Yes, to provide space for expansion.
Yeah.
Because it's a manufacturing business.
Yes, expanding.
You need to locate because you need large areas of land to do that. So you need to.
Obviously.
Yeah, the answer is what?
A.
That ends chapter 8. Any question about it?
No. A very good one,
Yeah, that's cool. So
at least I can understand about how I can relocate my business.
That's fine.